Hello students, welcome to RD Chemistry. Here I am going to explain the preparations of the ethers. There are two methods available to prepare ethers. First one is known as the dehydration of the alcohols and second one is the Williamson's synthesis. Okay, let us see the first one, that is the dehydration of alcohols. You know the meaning of dehydration, correct? What do you mean by dehydration? Dehydration means removal of water, right? Dehydration means removal of water, okay? H2O, removal of water, H2O, right? To remove water, we require dehydrating agent. What do you require? We require dehydrating agent. Now, what are the dehydrating agents that are available? Dehydrating agent means the reagent which is able to remove the water molecule from the substances, and one of them is a concentrated sulfuric acid. This one you have studied in the mechanism of dehydration of alcohols. Okay, now other one is the concentrated H3PO4 phosphoric acid. We require protic solvents. Okay, we require protic solvents or protic acids. So it is a protic acids required. What do you mean by protic acid? Protic acids are those acids which can donate H plus ions for protonation, right? Now let me take the example of ethyl alcohol. What is ethyl alcohol? Ethyl alcohol is a CH3 CH2OH, ethyl alcohol. Okay, or it is also known as the ethanol. You have studied the mechanism for this, right? When it is treated with the concentrated H2SO4, what is the product obtained? The mechanism you have studied. So it will give ethene as the product. CH2 double bond CH2, correct? Plus water H2O, right? This is the ethene. Ethanol gives ethene. Alcohol gives alkene. Now this reaction is carried out actually 443 Kelvin. 443 Kelvin. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to prepare the ethers, correct? Again we require dehydration of the alcohols, which means the product form depends on the conditions used in the reaction. Here it is a 443 Kelvin. Let me change the temperature. For the same alcohol CH3 CH2OH, this is ethanol, and let me make use of concentrated sulfuric acid, which is a dehydrating agent, and at 413 Kelvin. Now what will happen? Here also water is lost. Water is lost. And we get the product CH3, CH2O, then repeat CH2 and CH3. Correct? This can be written as the C2H5 together, this alkyl group attached to the oxygen and then C2H5. Correct? And this is known as the diethyl ether. This is called as the diethyl ether. Correct? Ether function group ROR, general formula. Correct? Now, when I look at this structure, how would I expect this product? For that, I require one more molecule of ethyl alcohol. Using two molecules of ethyl alcohol, we can remove water molecule H2O. Okay, H2O can be removed like this. Therefore, we get water as the side product. Right? So it all depends on the conditions used. Higher temperature, alkene. Lower temperature, ether is formed. Remember, ether is formed. Now here in this case, water is being removed using two different molecules, right? Ethyl alcohol molecule, ethanol molecule. Two different molecules are there, correct? So two molecules required. This kind of dehydration is called as the intermolecular dehydration. Intermolecular dehydration. Intermolecular dehydration, correct? Intermolecular dehydration. Now, here we have got water is removed from the same molecule. Only one molecule is required. You remember I used to write this one in the previous video. CH3 can be written like this. Then CH2OH. Correct? So water molecule is removed from the same molecule. And this kind of dehydration is called as, okay, intramolecular dehydration. Intramolecular dehydration. Intramolecular dehydration. Right? In case of alcohols, intramolecular dehydration gives alkene as the product. In case of alcohols, intermolecular dehydration gives ether as the product. Clear? Yeah, so this is the first method using dehydration of alcohols, but depends on the temperatures. Clear? Right? So we'll go for the second method. What is the second method we are going to do? Second method is called as the Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis. Now what is this Williamson? Williamson is the name of the scientist. Whenever name of the scientist comes, such reactions are called as the named reaction. Okay, they are called as the named reactions. Okay, named reaction. Scientist name का named reaction. Remember, in organic chemistry there are many named reactions. To tell you few, like a Wurtz reaction, Kolbe's reaction, Wurtz-Wittig reaction, Reimer-Tiemann reaction. All these are name of the scientist. Okay, so they are called the name reaction. Here, in this case, we can prepare here symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. We can prepare symmetrical and unsymmetrical ether. Symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. Unsymmetrical ether. What do you mean by symmetrical ether? Symmetrical ether means ROR. Both the groups are same. Or what do you mean by unsymmetrical? The R groups are different here. Right? Now, what is the reaction? In this case, you are supposed to take alkyl halide. Alkyl halide. Alkyl halide. Alkyl halide is made to react with the sodium salt of the alcohol called as the sodium alkoxide. Sodium alkoxide, which gives ether as the product. Which gives ether as the main product. Let us see. Let me write down the general equation now. Okay. We require general equation now. What is the general equation? After that, we'll go for the examples. Right? Clear? Now, alkyl halide. Alkyl we write in general R. Methyl, ethyl, propyl, butyl. Halide, halogen atom. This is the alkyl halide. Reacts with the sodium salt, Na plus. Sodium salt to the alcohol, ROH. Alright, minus here, alkoxide to give. Okay. Now here remember this alkoxide act as a nucleophile. Nucleophiles are negatively charged. Nucleophile. Nucleophile attack the carbon atom containing halogen. Halogen goes out. So we write the product as ROR and side product is a NaX, sodium halide. Now these can be symmetrical ether or they can be unsymmetrical ether. Let me write R dash. Okay, we need not take the same R group. So alkyl halide, alkyl halide, alkyl halide reacts with sodium alkoxide, sodium alkoxide, sodium alkoxide to give ether, either symmetrical or unsymmetrical ethers. Correct? Now let me take the example. Okay, let me take a CH3Br, methyl bromide. Correct? This is a methyl bromide. Methyl bromide reacts with the sodium ethoxide, sodium salt of the alcohol, C2H5OH. I'll write O minus. Okay, nucleophile can attack the carbon atom and Br goes out. Okay, so side product is sodium bromide, that I'll write first, plus CH3O C2H5 together. This is the methyl part. This is the methyl part, correct? Methyl. This is ethyl. Alphabetical order. E comes first. Ethyl, methyl, ether. So it is a ethyl, methyl, ether. Ethyl, methyl, ether. Okay. So I'll go for one more example where both the groups are same now. So let me make use of C2H5Br. Ethyl bromide. What is this? This is the ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromide. Ethyl bromide reacts with the, let me take same alkoxide, sodium ethoxide. This is a sodium ethoxide. Sodium ethoxide. Sodium ethoxide. So nucleophile attack the carbon atom. Br goes out in the form of sodium bromide plus. So what I'm going to get? C2H5 O C2H5. Can you name this compound? There are two ethyl groups, correct? So it should be called as diethyl ether. Diethyl ether. Diethyl ether. Okay. So we can prepare symmetrical ethers as well as the unsymmetrical ethers. Groups can be same or groups can be different on either side of the oxygen. Correct? Now see here, in all these cases we are used alkyl group. Okay, alkyl. We are used haloalkane groups, haloalkane molecule. Can I make the aryl halides or haloarenes? Yeah, if I do so, I'll get the benzene rings attached to the oxygen. We can do that. We can prepare aliphatic or aromatic ethers. Okay. Now let us see how to prepare aromatic. So let me take a simplest alkyl halide, that is the methyl bromide, CH3Br, methyl bromide, methyl bromide, methyl bromide. Now I require alkoxide, alkoxide for the alcohol. Now I require benzene ring attached to OH or attached to O minus, called as the sodium phenoxide. You are aware of this one, right? In phenol chapter. Let me make the sodium phenoxide. What is this? This is sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide. Sodium phenoxide. Clear? Yeah. O minus act as the nucleophile, attack the carbon atom, and Br goes out. Right? To give benzene ring attached to the oxygen, then attached to the CH3 here now. Side product is the sodium bromide. Correct? Do you remember name of this molecule, commercial name? This is also known as the methoxybenzene, correct? One name is methoxybenzene. Methoxybenzene. This is the methoxybenzene. Or also called as the methyl phenyl ether. Okay, methyl phenyl ether. Methyl phenyl ether. One more name is there. Commercial name. What is the commercial name? Anisole. Okay, it is known as the anisole. Correct? Methyl bromide, alkyl halide reacts with the sodium phenoxide to give aromatic ethers also. Right? Clear? Now, I'll go for different types of the examples now, whether reaction is possible or not possible. Right? Yeah. Now, let me take some more examples. So, let me take a tertiary butoxide, sodium salt of tertiary butoxide. Alcohol is attached to the alcohol group attached to the carbon atom, which is attached to the three more carbon atom directly. This is the tertiary butyl group. So sodium tertiary butoxide reacts with the methyl bromide. Let me take methyl bromide as example for alkyl halide. Okay, clear? Now nucleophile O minus attack the carbon atom containing halogen, and halogen goes out and we'll get it as the sodium bromide. Correct? So we expect the product CH3, CH3 here, then oxygen attached to the CH3, side product is the sodium bromide. Correct? Correct? Nucleophile attack the carbon atom and Br goes out. Such kind of reaction called as the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, and they are generally called as the Essen reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reactions mechanisms we studied in haloalkane chapter. Now what I'll do, I'll interchange the Br and O minus Na. I'll interchange alkoxide and the alkyl halide. What I'll do, I'll do the reverse way around. Okay, so I'll take now tertiary butyl bromide. Let me take here tertiary butyl bromide. This is the tertiary butyl bromide. Correct? I'll reverse it. Then let me take here methoxide. Sodium salt of the methyl alcohol, sodium methoxide. Correct? Now see here. This is the nucleophile. We expect nucleophile attack to this carbon atom. But there is a problem here. Now nucleophile should be there. Correct? This is a nucleophile. Should act as a nucleophile. But problem is that this carbon atom is already crowded now. Nucleophile cannot go closer to the carbon atom and can't make bromine to go out and cannot form oxygen carbon bond easily because these are crowded molecule. There will be a steric hindrance. We call it the steric hindrance. Steric hindrance. You know the word stereo. Stereo means in space. In the space around the carbon atom, there is a hindered groups are there. Bulkiness is more. So it doesn't act as a nucleophile. What will act as? This will act as the base now. It can act as the base. You know that OH minus. OH minus, simple hydroxide base. Now instead of OH minus, we have got methoxide, bulkier nucleophile. Generally, bulkier nucleophile can act as the base. And base will always take up what? H plus, acidic hydrogen. It will take up acidic hydrogen. So therefore, there is no nucleophilic substitution reaction. Instead, it will take up the acidic hydrogen. It will take up acidic hydrogen H plus from the neighboring carbon atom. But Br will go out. Br will go out. Now see here. Okay. So what is there? H plus should be removed from the neighboring carbon atom and Br should be removed from the neighboring carbon atom. Removal of HBr is called as dehydrohalogenation reaction. Dehydrohalogenation reaction. Therefore, doesn't act as a nucleophile, it acts as the base. Okay, it acts as the base now. Base will allow the alkyl halide to undergo dehydrohalogenation. In case of bulkier alkyl halides are present, where there is no possibility of nucleophilic substitution reaction. So remove that hydrogen, CH2 will become. Then attached to carbon, then there is a CH3, then there is a CH3, I should form double bond now. Alkene is formed. So dehydrogenation always gives alkene as the product. Remember that one. So this is the exception. So we cannot always prepare ethers. Okay. So it depends on what kind of nucleophile is there, what kind of alkoxides are there, and what kind of alkyl halides are there. If bulkier alkyl halides are there, and the base is also bulky, nucleophilic substitution not easy. Therefore, they can undergo dehydrohalogenation. And what is the side product? Side product is, so CH3O minus will take up H plus. So it becomes a methyl alcohol. And we'll get now sodium salt of the bromine, sodium bromide here. Okay, so this is the exception, should remember now, correct? Again, I'll repeat, alkoxides here are not only nucleophiles, they can also act as the bases. Okay, depends on the given reaction. Clear? Right? Hope it is clear to you people. See here, now we'll solve this problem. Complete the following reaction and they are given right on the major product. The first reaction is one. Ethoxide is there and tertiary butyl chloride is there. Similarly, we have got one more reaction wherein instead of ethoxide, there is a tertiary butoxide, sodium salt tertiary butoxide. Interchange here. Okay. Alkyl halide and the alkoxides are interchange. Okay. Clear? Let's see the first one. This should act as a nucleophile in general. And this is alkyl halide, bulkier one, correct? Nucleophile cannot attack the tertiary carbon atom easily, right? So this cannot act as the nucleophile. Instead, it acts as the base, and base will take up always acidic hydrogen from the neighboring carbon atom. Should take up acidic hydrogen from the neighboring carbon atom, and bromine should go out. Remember, alkyl halide is a bulkier molecule. Nucleophilic substitution reaction not easy. Therefore, it undergoes dehydrohalogenation reaction. Dehydrohalogenation reaction. Okay. So we'll write only the major product, single product we'll write down. Okay. So what will happen now? Remove this CH. Sorry, remove this hydrogen, acidic hydrogen becomes CH2, then double bond C, then CH3, then CH3. Correct? Correct? Right. Side products will not write down. Now see here. Reverse way around. Bulkier nucleophile can attack the smaller alkyl group. It is easy to attack the smaller alkyl group. Okay, smaller alkyl group easily undergo the nucleophilic substitution reaction. So nucleophile can easily attack carbon atom attached to the Cl, smaller alkyl compared to the alkoxide. Okay. So what do you expect now? Side product is sodium bromide as usual, NaBr. Okay, which is of no interest for us. Now we'll write on the actual product, organic product, CH3. CH3 thrice attached the same carbon atom. That's why this is called a tertiary carbon atom. Attach the oxygen, then attach to. Bond breaks here. Attach this CH2 and CH3. So we'll get here ether, ROR dash. Correct? Yeah. So what I've done is here similar compounds are there, but only interchange of the halides and the alkoxide group. When alkyl halide is bulkier, it cannot undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction easily. They easily undergo dehydration. When the alkyl halide is smaller, they prefer to undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction. Right? Clear? Yeah, that's all for today's video. Hope it is clear to people how to prepare ethers from dehydration of alcohols and the Williamson synthesis. Right? In the next video, I'll explain the reactions of the ethers. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.